it's really not a big deal. Here's what happened. The Pokemon company said, we got a Pokemon Presents on Wednesday. Get yourselves ready. And then the internet went, let's go Johto. We're getting a new Pokemon game. It's going to be Pokemon Let's Go Johto. I can't wait for them to announce Pokemon Let's Go Johto. And that is not at all what happened. Everybody got overly hyped for something that they just took a wild guess at. And instead, we got a Pokemon MOBA. So here it is. It's called Pokemon Unite. I can play a little bit of the trailer. It was an 11-minute long Pokemon Presents. They played the game for like a big chunk of it. They had a bunch of influencers, some Japanese influencers, some American influencers in it. And it looks pretty cool. It's a MOBA. I'm not interested in MOBAs.
I still don't really get MOBAs.
You don't get MOBAs? What do you not get?
I get it, but I don't know. I just like something about them is not clicking with me because they look too much like real-time strategy games, but they're not.
They're very similar.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I've never found a MOBA that I can say I want to play that all the time, because I know with MOBAs it's like Fortnite. You play it and that's the only game you play for the rest of your life.
I think we should explain what a MOBA is because we just keep saying it.
Yeah.
Massive online battle arena.
Yes. Games like League of Legends, Dota 2, Smite. Those are MOBAs, if you will.
Yes. They're massively popular.
Yes.
If you've never heard of them, that would be strange because there's a lot of really popular MOBAs out there. You might not have known that League of Legends is a MOBA, but it's a MOBA.
Yeah. It's probably it was the MOBA. Might still be the MOBA. And then there's also Dota 2, which is the more hardcore of them. But
and now look at this. We got Pokemon's throwing their hat in the ring with Pokemon Unite. This is an article from The Verge. The latest Pokemon adventure is a real-time, team-based strategy game called Pokemon Unite. See, it's a little bit of a strategy game. Mm-hmm. The game is being developed by Tencent's Timmy Studios, the same studio behind massive free-to-play online games like Honor of Kings, which I've never heard of, and Call of Duty Mobile. Can I look up Honor of Kings?
Call of Duty Mobile, that's the one that came out a few months ago that everybody loves, right?
Yeah, it's good. It came out a while ago, but it from what I understand, it's good. So let's break this down in the middle of the article. Tencent is, I think, the biggest gaming company in the world.
It's the biggest multimedia company in the world, not just video games, but also movies and stuff. They own, or at least partially own, a lot of companies. They're a major investor in Activision, EA, Ubisoft. They own a lot of Epic. I think they're the majority shareholder of Epic.
Well, according to the Wikipedia, Tencent is the world's largest video game company.
Right.
One of the world's most valuable companies, period. One of the world's largest social media companies. What? And one of the world's largest venture capital firms and investment corporations. So this is what would you call it? Abstergo. This is the what are other fictional big companies that control everything?
For you
LexCorp, Wayne Enterprises.
For you RoboCop fans out there, OCP, who controlled all of Detroit to the point where they just bought Detroit.
That's what Tencent is, a big deal that a lot of people have not heard of because it's Chinese. It's
which is shocking because, like you said, they have their finger in a lot of major American video game companies, but also too, they've been financing a lot of movies recently because a lot of Hollywood movies want to get released in China, and the easiest way to do that is to have Chinese financing. And Tencent, I think they did the last few Mission Impossible movies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So
they bankroll a lot of stuff, but they also bring in a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money. They got their hands in a lot of pies. That's the word I want to use. Yes. Anyway, The game looks like a MOBA. Looks like a lot of MOBAs, particularly League of Legends, with teams of 5 battling against each other and leveling up over the course of a match while completing objectives. I can't read this. The multi-lane map is even reminiscent of existing team strategy games. It'll be a free-to-start game on both the Nintendo Switch and mobile with cross-play for multiplayer. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's going to help this game out a lot. If you have a Switch or you don't have a Switch, you have multiple ways to play this game with your friends. Did it say like you can take like your stats and stuff between systems, or is it just the multiplayer that's
so it said cross-play? It did not say cross-progression, which scares me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's going to be one big account system.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing the Pokemon company, there's got to be something that's like doesn't work right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not gonna make it easy for you. There's gonna be something that's got to be messed up. But a lot of MOBAs are free to start or free to play. So it's gonna be free. You might have to buy characters or something, but you can try it for yourself for completely free to see if you like it. And you could try it on your phone, you can try it on your Switch, and you could play with people who don't even have a Switch. So that's pretty cool. I think this is a cool idea. I
just like to make a correction. Alibaba Pictures, another Chinese company, produced the last few Mission Impossible movies. However, Tencent has produced such American films like Kong Skull Island, Wonder Woman, Venom, Bumblebee, Men in Black International, Terminator Dark Fate, the upcoming Top Gun Maverick. So the other big ass Tom Cruise franchise.
Right.
But those are like big American movies.
Big
American movies. I'm thinking of Nico Bellic's cousin from GTA 4. You keep saying like big American TTs.
I thought you were thinking of like the Clerks cartoon when they outsourced to a Korean studio. Big American party.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bear's driving. How can that be?
Who's driving? Oh no, Bear's driving. If you've never watched the Clerks cartoon, there's only 6 episodes and it's great.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing Kevin Smith has ever done.
Anyway, I'm going to try. Now, I'm not a big MOBA guy. I'm not a big strategy guy. But this is a free game, and it's on the phone and the Switch. So I will try it when it comes out.
I feel like if this is a good game, it might be a good gateway into the wider MOBA genre as a whole. Mm-hmm. I know like MOBAs are typically like real time. So that would be good for someone like me who hates like, pausing in the middle of the action and like planning things out or just clicking on things until they die. So, I'd be willing to, if it's free, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it looks cool. It looks really well done. I'm trying to find some of the actual gameplay that they showed. They got there's a limited amount of Pokemon. I'm sure they'll keep adding some. Right. You'll probably have to buy them. It looks like you might not be able to pick 2 of the same Pokemon. The Pokemon have certain abilities that are gonna. It would help to build out a team of different Pokemon. They don't have type advantages, so those are meaningless in this game. And that's really it. Otherwise, it's just a MOBA. You have objectives. You have to like take over the other teams like bases, and if you go back to your own base, you gain health. And that's it. Otherwise, it's just a freaking MOBA. It looks pretty much like a copy and paste of League of Legends, just with Pokemon.
Yeah. It is interesting that, Nintendo this week said that they're not really going to focus on mobile games anymore. Like they're pretty much done with them. Mm-hmm. But Pokemon, just keep going.
Well, like think about like how Nintendo came out with their mobile games.
Right.
And they were like, all right, and people like had some problems with it, and they did some weird things like a Super Mario Run was $10 or was free for like a first level, and then you had to buy the whole thing, and it was $10, which is like a lot for a mobile game.
They never really figured out like the sweet spot of it. Like their first mobile app was Miitomo, which wasn't really a game. Then they had Super Mario Run, which was free for like 3 levels and the rest is $10 because their justification was they wanted to keep the price high to indicate that this was that very valuable game, that there was value to the game. It wasn't just some $2 piece of crap that you can buy and just forget about. They wanted to, make it seem like there was substance to it. And then their next few games were like free to play and they had microtransactions, but like people didn't really like that either.
I get why Nintendo wanted to show that it was like a premium product, because that's how they view their games. They view their games as like, polished and really well done, not like most mobile game companies do. But the mobile game market is just so different than their traditional video game market, They didn't really conform.
I feel like they got into the mobile games market because like while the Wii U was struggling, and I feel like they just did that to appease investors and like market analysts and critics who were saying like Nintendo is done, they should just do mobile games for the rest of their life.
And everybody was telling them that they should move games to mobile.
Yeah, and
they tried to do it in their own Nintendo way. Yeah, and it didn't really work out too good.
Yeah, and then like 4 or 5 years later, the Switch came out, and now everyone's like, "Oh man, every game should be put on the Switch. This is the best console ever." So,
but anyway, they're making a lot of money, and they know how to run a business better than I do. You're getting a MOBA. I'm sure it'll be fine, and I'm sure that in the trailer they were showing like a lot of like stadiums and stuff. It looks like they're trying to tackle that League of Legends market. They want to make it like a competitive thing. Well, I guess we'll just see how it goes.
Which is weird because I don't not that MOBAs are over, but the MOBA bubble, if you will, was like 4 years ago, and I feel like it's a little bit late to that. In a way,
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, after Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell were like the biggest things. Like there was a stealth game every other week. Now the only like stealth franchises are Metal Gear, Splinter Cell, and maybe the Arkham games. You don't really get a lot of stealth games anymore.
I mean, maybe we are a little bit outside of the world, because
maybe
in Korea, MOBAs are there's a MOBA every other second.
This is true.
But that that whole thing boomed before we got it.
Yeah.
So it would have had, maybe it's still booming there. I have no idea. So it looks like they're trying to tackle the competitive scene with this, but people are just disappointed because they got the idea that there was going to be a new Pokemon game this year or something. Like they got the idea that this was going to be a brand new Pokemon game, not a mobile MOBA. So it took people by surprise, but
yeah,
it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks fine. I'm sure it'll be a very good MOBA game for the phone or the Switch, but it is what it is.
They should release a competitive shooter next.